10 feet tall, built to crush anything in its path, and terrified of a hairless ape with no claws, no fangs, and no armor. It should have been the other way around. Because for hundreds of thousands of years, a slow, clawless, soft-skinned animal hunted down creatures 10 times its size, and their fiercest predators too. And won, again and again. That animal was us. Not because we were stronger. We weren't. Not because we were faster. We definitely weren't. We won because early humans discovered something most predators on Earth never figure out: you don't beat an animal's body, you beat its instincts. What you're about to hear isn't a caveman story. It's an engineering story. Physics, chemistry, and psychology, worked out by people with no metal tools, no written language, and no room for error. 4 tricks. 4 completely different sciences. And none of them needed strength. By the end, primitive is going to sound like the wrong word entirely. First problem: how do you fight something 10 times your size? You don't. You let its own size work against it. This is spear planting. A hunter braces the spear against the ground, or wedges it into rock. They angle the tip toward the charge. Then they wait. The animal does the rest. At full speed, it doesn't get poked. It drives its entire body weight onto the blade, all on its own. The hunter isn't the power source here. The animal is. It's the same idea behind anti-cavalry pikes used thousands of years later. Except this version came first, built from a sharpened branch and a boulder. Quick one: drop the country you're watching from in the comments. I'm curious how far this reaches. And humans took that same logic uphill. Literally. In rocky terrain, they rolled or dropped stones onto animals from above, turning a hillside into a weapon with 0 moving parts and 0 risk. But some animals wouldn't be lured into a charge, and couldn't be trapped by terrain. For those, the hunter needed a weapon that wasn't a weapon at all. Their own body. Nearly every fast animal on Earth overheats fast. That's why a cheetah's sprint lasts seconds, not minutes. Humans are the odd ones out. We cool down by sweating instead of panting, which means we can keep moving while releasing heat at the same time. That gap is the entire hunt. Persistence hunting means picking a target and simply refusing to stop. No burst of speed. Just a steady, relentless pursuit. Sometimes for hours. Often in the hottest part of the day. The animal sprints out of sight, confident it's escaped, and rests. Then it hears footsteps again. Every trick that's always worked before stops working. One collapse and recover cycle at a time. Until the animal is too overheated to run at all. The hunter never has to be fast. Just the last one still standing. It sounds like it should favor the animal. It doesn't. Heat is physics. Endurance is physiology. The hunter isn't overpowering anything. They're exploiting a flaw in the animal's cooling system. But persistence hunting only works on animals built to run flat out under a blazing sun. Not every target fit that description. Some had to be hunted a different way. One where the hunter didn't even need to keep pace at all. Picture hitting a huge animal with one small wooden arrow. It barely flinches. It runs. Every instinct says the hunt just failed. It didn't. Because the arrow was never built to kill on contact. It was built to start a clock. In southern Africa, hunters coated their arrow and spear tips with plant-based poison. Not enough to kill fast. Enough to start a clock, then they followed. A blood trail. A set of footprints. The animal's own strength failing beneath it. 4 hours. Sometimes a full day. Watching an animal slow down, step by step, until the poison finished what the weapon started. Compare that to how most predators hunt. A lion has seconds to win or starve. Humans didn't need seconds. They needed the outcome decided before the animal even realized it was in a fight. That's not a faster weapon. It's a slower, more patient one. Chemistry doing the waiting so the hunter didn't have to. And once you accept that early humans were willing to wait an entire day for a single kill, the next trick makes just as much sense. Because sometimes, the smartest move wasn't chasing an animal at all. It was making the animal chase itself. If you can't beat an animal's body, you beat its instincts. In deserts across the ancient world, archaeologists keep finding enormous stone funnels. Some stretching for miles, narrowing toward a hidden kill zone. Archaeologists have a name for them: desert kites. And here's the part that should stop you. They weren't built to physically stop anything. A wall of loose rocks couldn't hold back a stampeding herd for a second. It didn't need to. Under stress, animals don't plan escape routes. They take whatever path feels easiest in the moment. Hundreds of animals. Dust in the air. No plan. No leader. Just a panicked herd funneling toward the one gap that looked easiest. So hunters didn't build a wall strong enough to block a gazelle. They built one just annoying enough that going around felt easier than pushing through. That's not brute force. That's crowd control, the same principle airports and stadiums use today to move people without a single sign in sight. Humans were running behavioral psychology experiments before psychology had a name. And some kites ended in narrow chutes lined with the exact same braced spears from the very first trick. The stampede did the chasing. The spear did the rest. 4 different hunts. A braced spear. A chase that never ends. A slow-acting poison. A stone funnel. None of them relied on strength. Spear planting borrowed the animal's own momentum. Persistence hunting borrowed its own body against it. Poison borrowed time. Desert kites borrowed its instincts. That's the pattern. Every single weapon here is really the same move. Find the system already in motion: momentum, biology, chemistry, instinct, and quietly redirect it instead of fighting it. We picture our ancestors as brute survivors swinging clubs in the mud. The evidence points somewhere else entirely. Early engineers running some of the first applied science experiments in human history, with no lab, no classroom, and no second attempt if they got it wrong. So if that's what they solved with a sharpened stick and no written language at all, what does that say about the problem sitting in front of you right now, with everything you already have? And maybe that's the real lesson. The biggest advantage isn't always having more strength, more speed, or more resources. Sometimes, it's learning to see the system already working in front of you. If you enjoy uncovering the hidden science behind the things we take for granted, subscribe. There's a lot more to discover.